welcome back to the channel. This is Bubba. Now let's discuss something today about electric fuel pumps. I've been watching tons of videos, people doing LS swaps, adding electric fuel pumps to either snipers or your carburetors. Like I say, you putting the 5, 3, 4, 8, 6 O's in, and nobody's really talked about it. And I'm just wondering if anybody is doing it. Some probably say they are after watching the video. Some I hope will after watching the video. Let's go over something that could probably save your life or the other person. Let's check this out, and either you're gonna like it or you ain't. But anyway, let's do it. Alright, what I have here in front of me is just a common emergency shutdown that a lot of people don't talk about, or I don't see doing. And maybe y'all are doing it not saying nothing. I don't know. I hadn't seen it in the last few videos that these guys are building these cars going to the no name. Nobody's talked about it. But anyway, if you hadn't put any of them in, this is an inertia switch. What this will do is shut your fuel pump off in case there's an accident or something on the street. If there's an accident, you don't want fuel pumping all over you. So I'm going to show you a easy way to wire these things up where they'll run. And if there is an accident or a bump, at least it'll shut your pump off where you won't pump fuel all over you or somebody else, or maybe just you got a fire that's steadily pumping fuel up there in the front and fire is getting bigger. Back in my shop, when I was building the C10s and adding electric pumps, the guy in the shop called this the Bubba switch. I tell them, I said, put the Bubba switch in there. And they knew exactly what I was talking about. So you can purchase these pretty much anywhere. Sometime when they come, they're wired wrong. If they're wired, get your DVOM and check it out. But it'll come in wired like that, where when it's off, power is on. You want it when the button's down, power is on, power off when it's up. Okay? But a simple way to wire it, I know a lot of them saying, well, that wire is not heavy enough to carry my fuel pump, whatever it is, a small wire. So what we're going to do is, the way I wire mine is I'm going to run my blue wire to a key on. Okay? The key on power, I'll have power going through it, of course out the other side when it's down. Okay? And normally I'm going to supply my power to my pump by my switches. So I'll just cut a switch on. Of course it'll go through a relay, powers my power to my fuel pump. Some of y'all, you can go with a thinner switch, it doesn't matter. You can go with a small switch because you're just going to use the trigger wire to power the relay to power your pump. Never hook these switches up directly to your fuel pumps. You're asking for trouble if you do. You end up burning your switches up. Always run stuff through a relay. But anyway, so key on, I got power. I'm going to run my blue light trigger wire, if you got this relay, to my white. Okay? We're not going to use the yellow wire. Yellow wire is not used. We're going to ground the relay. This is my heavy wire coming from my power source for my fuel pump. So when I cut my switch on, my fuel pump comes on through my relay for my pump. Hope I don't confuse anybody. If not, I'm going to throw a little wiring diagram up that shows you how to wire these up, make it simple for you. Because you don't want to run your fuel pump power through this. Anyway, so we got our trigger wire tied to our white wire. Ground your relay. Your red wire is going to be your power coming in from your switch headed out to your pump. The blue wire, you're going to continue your power onto the next switch, either in the front or the back, or if you just put one on, don't matter. Run this one onto your pump. If you got one in the rear, go straight to it for your same power in your white. Okay, so any event, key on, power here, it's going to trigger this. I'm going to continue my power out to my pump. In an accident, it's going to kill your trigger wire, shuts that relay off. Alright, no power to the pump. You put these in anywhere you want. I know back in the late 80s, 90s, the Ford trucks, they had them in the kick panels, and they moved them on the doghouse, where somebody, if you got 3 people in the truck, somebody could kick it and set it off, and they'll haul it to Ford, and we reach in there and hit it. A lot of them are in the trunks of cars and what all. But a couple of things you can do to find out, help you diagnose, is you can hook up a little light by it. So if you don't have any fuel, either run it inside your cab or out there by it. So if the light's out, you know that switch is gone. It's been set. But I want to bring this out to you because this is something important. You know, you probably need to have in there. Set it somewhere, mount it somewhere where there's not a lot of vibration. You probably have to put it on some kind of little padding or something. If it keeps setting off, get it where it won't set off until there is an impact. But it's very important to put the inertia switches in. And I can't stress that enough, because I'd hate to, if I was in an accident and it's bad enough pumping fuel out on somebody, you know, or vice versa, pumping out on me in an accident. But you can pick these up anywhere. Now a lot of times when you get them, they're wired wrong. They'll come where when it's open, the light will be on, or you have power. You mash it down, power will be off. Just use your DVOM or light or something and change your wires over. Real simple to do. Make sure it's wired right. But I just want to do a short video on this because I don't see it done. As far as dragsters, I don't know what they do. I don't drag race, I just do street, so I don't know exactly how they doing or what you would do as far as drag racing, what they're using for a fuel shut off. I do know before I was to race somebody on a track, I'd like to know if they even have one or not, you know what I mean? But nothing I could do if I'm going to race them, they don't, decide just don't race them in case something does happen. And another thing that I highly recommend is a power shutoff. Of course, I bought this one, and we throw a ton of these away from Cat, working on heavy equipment. I could have got one. Matter of fact, I got 2 in my drawer in my box now. I don't know how old they are, how good they are. I always hook these up on your ground side, and if you've got this stuff on your car, let the crew know where this stuff is before you go down the track. I'm sure there is a specific location on a lot of cars, but if you got one mounted somewhere different place, kind of let somebody know, easy access to get to it in case there is an accident where they can just kill all the power on your street route or whatever. If you're gonna race it out there, you're on a track somewhere. And another thing, if you're gonna park it in the garage for a long time, kill your power, your battery won't go down, you know. But man, get your inertia switches and put them on. I usually have one in the rear, one in the front, and they're set where, you know, a lot of roads are rough everywhere. So if you hit a pothole or something, it won't set it off. So try to find you an area where it won't set off until you are in an accident. Best thing, maybe just mount at different places of your vehicle and drive it for a little bit and run over potholes if you got any out there. If you want to, you want to run into a hole, run into a hole. And see if it sets off, and find your location where it will stay on most of the time until you are in an accident. Don't mount it and go down the road so it keeps going off and just cut the wires and wire it straight on because you mounted in the wrong place. Find your location that it won't go off a lot. Okay. And to show you, I can wire this thing up right quick and show you kind of like how it works, you know. Let me get my little 9-volt battery here. So I'm going to bring my power in, either green or the blue. And let's wire this up right. Just going to twist these up right here. This ain't recommended how to hook it up. I'm just doing this for demonstration. So we should be hot right there. Let's see if the little blue light come on. I'm going to do this right here so I can hold both of them on there. I got that set right. It should come on. Okay, we're down. Okay, our blue light's on. You're in an accident. Goes off. That's simple. Okay. It does have a rollover on it where you roll it over, it'll go off. But get one, get it in there, go through your relay so you won't have a fire, you know, and make sure you fuse everything. I should tell you that. If you're a builder, I shouldn't tell you to fuse anything. But anyway, tell me what you think about it in the comments. If you think it's a good idea, bad idea, it won't bother me a bit. But I'm gonna tell you, if you was to purchase a truck that I've built, it'll have it in there, and we'll talk about it in the purchase. It'll have your shut off, it'll have your inertia switch in case there is an accident. And a lot of people that I've had phone calls before where they've done swaps and different modifications and no fuel. And a lot of times during your build you'll bump that thing and don't even know you got it in there, either in the side or somewhere, and you've bumped it and you go to crank it up, there's no fuel supply. You know, the fuel pump's not working. What's wrong with it? You end up running another wire back there trying to get the pump, and I'm doing a switch, all because you've tripped your inertia switch in your vehicle and don't even know you got one. But most of the modern cars have got them, so they're in the trunk, inside the cab, you know. But anyway, tell me what you think, and go out and get you one, order you one, get it on there. It can save your life. Thanks for watching.